cross line between culture and nature is food. Food is maybe the biggest prism of culture. If you go for somewhere to make a trip, the souvenir will be flavor. And you're going to keep this for your lifetime. Sociology, anthropology, psychology used to follow food tracks to understand better one culture or the environmental. So food is much more than feed. I'm trying to teasing people and make them curious. What is this flavor? Where they come from? What's have behind that flavor? As a chef, my first commitment is do something delicious. But if I'm able to achieve this and maybe push the boundary and make people reflect and thinking about what is food, it is something more. So I do believe that how many times in our lives you take something and say, wow, where it's come from? Why not keep doing or try to do? As a chef, we can send lots of subliminary messages and make people reflecting. Why? Because food nowadays, it is much more trendy, it's much more cool, it's much more interesting. People start to eating not only to survive or to feed themselves, to enjoy, to have more pleasure. This is my point. There is many motivations. Let's think bigger, and then we are gonna natural conservation is not only protecting the sea, the lands, or the river. It's protecting the man who lives from the sea, the lands, and the river. And food chain in this moment can be a very powerful tool to support environmental. Small producers, native people, indigenous people, they, through the food chain, they can have some economical support, but more important, they are proud to be natives. They are proud to be indigenous. It is not only. I used to say this is a real benefit. It is not give money. It is bring back smile. This is very. Going more deep. Best place to eat French food is in France. What could be the best food to eat in Brazil? Brazilian food. It's simple like this. 60% of amazing recipe is built not by a chef, but by natural ingredients. So step by step you start to thinking and realize that we as a chef, we are a very strong voice in the food chain. But in the other hand, if you look all the food chain, we are just a tiny piece. And we might realize this and work on it. If you have more voice and we are part of it, we might work for the whole benefit. I never ever in my life could imagine that doing Brazilian ingredients in Brazil, we could be recognized as a good chef. So, of course, people become amazed. Few dishes are very curious and delicious, and it's easy to receive inside of you. Few of them are provocative, they are choking. So one of them, I make a square piece of pineapple with one end, just one single end on top, and I gave to people. And first, it is fun how people got different expressions, and they might to cross a mental gate because there's a cultural block to eating it on one end, but they do. And it's easily to the people breathe, and then after a while people start to laughing and smiling and talking how beautiful, how powerful, how aromatic it is the tiny ant, and this is fascinating. So it is a kind of roller coaster. In one hand, people got fear, and in the end, keep smiling. It is. But people really accept this. Dom, my main restaurant, it is deeply Brazilian, but not in a folklorical way. We don't go and see baianas, sing samba, and we have a very contemporary architecture. But all the details has something from Amazonas, something from indigenous peoples, something from small communities. So we try in a very elegant way bring this build of primitive art that we have in Brazil. The place is one experience, of course. The place and the company, because worse than have a bad meal is have an amazing meal with someone painting in your ass. So everything is composed a good meal, a good dinner experience. I mean, temperature, music, sensations. This is your chair. This is be comfortable. It is very important nowadays, and we try to push all the single details a little bit further, and always trying to create opposite things. I mean, in one hand you have a beautiful piece of Carajás tribe, and in the other hand you have a Oscar Niemeyer design or a chair. We try to show to people how beautiful and how diverse is the culture, the Brazilian culture. If I am in my kitchen work, I might felt myself in a comfort way. If I'm gonna sit and have my meal, I might be comfortable as well. Why I think like this? Why comfort is a very important word for me. Let's go back 2-3 decades before where I go. The rise up of fine dining and chefs is start in the 80s, same time that Wall Street phenomenon comes up. So in that time, a young guy, a yuppie guy, used to have a expensive watch, a big costume, a supercar, go to a fancy restaurant, take a wine, and know the chef. That was luxury in that time. What is luxury nowadays? Comfort. we keep having this young people who make lots of money, maybe with internet or something like that, but they don't need watches or they need feel themselves fine and comfort. Doesn't matter where they are. So a restaurant might you understand this. People don't want to. I love very classical service, but sometimes it's a little bit over. So we might you balance when the classical service and a beautiful waiter arriving you and offer something new, or just someone smile and said, "Hey, come on, let's taste it." So there's find the balance. It is, and make people happy and comfortable. This is the new luxury. It is the difference between create and invent. Big creativity is working on a very regular basis, doing maybe things that everybody does in an unexpected way. What is invention? Invention can be something that nobody did before. So invention is much more near than deception, disaster, than geniality. For a chef, the biggest challenge is not be only creativity, it's be simple. Simple is complex. Simple is not this at all.